Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Prestige Liquids. My name is Andrew, and as always it is fantastic to have you here with me again on another whiskey review video. Now in today's video I am going to be completing my Bakery Hill series. I am going to be reviewing the double wood expression from Bakery Hill. But before I get into this, please make sure that you go and hit the subscribe button right now, and also the bell notification so that you can stay up to date with all future content. Now, I'm sure, as you can probably tell by the tree behind me, it's quite windy today, so I apologize for any wind noise getting picked up on the microphone. And as I did mention at the start of the video as well, this is the final video 3 of my Bakery Hill series. So I will link the description to my Bakery Hill playlist in the description box down below, and also put up the info card above, right above my head here. So as some of you may be aware already, Bakery Hill is an Australian distillery. They are located in Victoria. This particular release has spent 7 years in American oak, ex-bourbon barrels previously from Jack Daniels. Sorry, I better hold on to my notes before the wind sends them flying. It has also spent part of its maturation in French oak ex-wine barrels that have been shaved back down to bare wood and then lightly toasted just to help bring out the subtleties of the cask. As with the previous releases in the core range from Bakery Hill, this is been a single barrel maturation. It's also non-chill filtered, and I also believe that it is natural color, also bottled at 46% ABV. So I think for now I'll put this away, just sit on it, and we'll get on with the review. Actually, before I do that, one thing I would like to mention to Bakery Hill: if anybody from the distillery happens to watch this, your other 2 releases have spent, say, up to minimum 8 years in the cask. This one has had 7 years. Like, give us an age, put the age statement on the bottle. That is just some information that so many people would love to see, and would be like a major, I guess, like sales point for you guys as well. Like, whiskey drinkers in general love this, for whatever reason it may be. We love to see age statements on bottles, regardless of whether it's 2 years, 4 years, 50 years, whatever it is. Just slap that number on the on the bottle, so we've got as much information there as possible. But yeah, that's enough of that. I'll get on with the review, and let's see what we get. Let's say, first off, I mean, just look at that color. Absolutely stunning. Nice golden light copper color. Beautiful. All right, let's see what we get on the nose. So cheers. Okay, so the nose is, I guess, I think judging off the Bakery Hill Classic Malt, the Bakery Hill style seems to be based off a Speyside style of Scotch, and that's pretty much what you're getting on the nose automatically with this. So you can expect apples, pears. There's lots of grassy notes going on as well. Think like dry grass. Also a combination of freshly mown lawn. Now, I know, say, from I forgot to mention it before, but other information that I had read for this states that this is an unpeated new make that they've used for this. But there is a certain minerality to it, or say mineral note. I can't remember if minerality is an actual word, but hey, we can make up stuff as we go along. There is a certain mineral note in this that gives it kind of like a peated style of nose as well. But that could also just be maybe a little bit of smoke influence coming from the cask. Vanilla, little bit of toasted caramel. It's a little bit nutty as well. Nice oak influence. And I think it's also got like a touch of pepper as well coming in from the French oak. Alright, let's get on with the palate. Cheers. Great mouthfeel, medium bodied, nice and spicy. It is a little bit thin, touch on the watery side, but then it builds up and it gets this nice syrupy texture to it. Again, I'm getting, I don't know what it is. For me, I'm getting a peated note. Now, I know this is not a peated malt, but there's something in there that to me has a bit of a peated influence to it. Let's just put it down to a touch of the smoke from the barrel. Typical French oak influence coming in right now. So I'm getting tons and tons of white pepper, and that's something that I love from a good French oak cask. I love the way those peppery notes from the French oak mixes in with the whiskey. The other great thing about this though is that that spice is not, it's not affecting or taking away from the taste of the malt in the new make. It's just a perfect balance. So now I'm getting like light hints of vanilla. The palate on this is more grain forward. More grain forward than it is fruity. There are some fruity notes to it, but that isn't the dominant feature. I am getting more of like a malted cereal note blended in, say, with a bit of like caramelized sugar and a little bit of apples and pears. It just has a nice soft sweetness to it without being too overly sweet. Probably let's move on to the finish now. I think that's all I'm gonna get from the palate at the moment. I think if I was just to let this sit a little bit longer, I would get more out of it, but then we're gonna have an hour and a half long video and we don't want that. The finish is short, just stretching over to the medium side. Again, those nice malty characteristics coming through, a little bit of sugary sweetness, and kind of peanutty as well. There's a nice gentle hint of peanut that comes through with just a right amount of touch of the pepper from the French oak and also a little bit of chocolate. I'm thinking that I'm also picking up a very light hint of dried apricot at the end there as well. So there's a lot going on here. This is definitely a brilliant whiskey to explore. I have to say, out of the three that I've reviewed from Bakery Hill, so I've done the classic malt, the peated, and this one here, the double wood, I think this one is definitely my favorite, closely followed by the classic malt, and then at the end the peated. Unfortunately, I was a bit disappointed by the peated malt, but hey, what can you do? You're not going to please everybody, and I'm sure there are lots of people out there that enjoy it for what it is. For me, the peated malt was just a little bit unbalanced, but the classic malt and the double wood are absolutely perfect the way they are. Guys, just keep on doing what you're doing with these whiskies, because at least those two are phenomenal. I really can't wait to try other whiskies in your range, because I'm sure they will be just mind-blowing. Alright, I think that's all I really have to say. As I mentioned, I'll put a link down in the description down below. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's build those numbers up. And yeah, I'll see you all again on the next video. KIPPIS.